Good afternoon, Stitch Roadies. I just have a moment here, just for a second. I was looking for the name of a couple of floss tubes that I watched this week, and what popped up was a video that G had put together of Enzo, our precious dog, our last dog that we had. And it just made me all choked up. He was such an extraordinary dog. I mean, it's kind of like everybody talks about their children or their grandchildren as they're just the best, Yes. Well, Enzo was a very unusual dog. I mean, you will see, if I can get G to link that video up at the end, you will see how amazing he was. How amazing he was. Okay, this is a channel about cross stitch. Sorry, if you are a new subscriber, don't be scared. I do talk about cross stitch. But I just had a moment there, and I wanted to, I needed some company with it. I have lots of things laying around here, as most floss tubers do. I've been busy. I have been busy. It has been this last 2 or 3 days I am located in Oregon. We have had an atmospheric river. That's what they call it. And yes, I can only say that thank goodness I live at the top of a mountain, because the river is running down my street, going downhill. It rained continuously all night. My yard, the plants are loving it. Let me just say that. But I would have to wear boots to go out in my yard. It kind of looks like a bit of sunshine might be poking through, but we're supposed to continuously have rain here. Yeah, and this week I am leaving on a sister visit. Not Sisters, Oregon, actually, but to visit my sister who lives down in California. So I will be, supposedly the atmospheric river will be done by the time I fly out. Yes, and I'm looking forward to spending some time with my sis. It has been a while. Okay. Nashville Market happened. And tomorrow I am going to Acorns and Threads because it is Nashville Days at the shop. I have no memory. I think I went into a fugue state on what I might have pre-ordered. And then I know that I'm going to see some things that I had no idea were available. So I'm very excited to go to the shop tomorrow. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those, you're so excited, but at the same time you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Yeah, I have been busy stitching because, when you know new stuff is coming in, you got to keep working on the old stuff. And so I want to show you, I do have a finish. Yes. Oh, that would be a nice little screenshot, huh? I belong to Across the Pond Stitchers on Facebook, and it is a lovely, lovely group. I mean, I've said it before, and I will say it again. Having the best thing that came out of our 2020 year was Zoom, and being able to connect up with so many wonderful, wonderful creators from around the world is just a bonus, and across the pond is just filled with lovely, lovely stitchers. So this year in 2026, we voted online on the Facebook page what project we wanted to stitch along, because I'm all about the stitch alongs. And did I bring the I don't know if I brought the chart. Oh well, if it shows up, I'll show it to you, but I brought the finish. It was a needle roll, Stacy Nash needle roll, Biscornu, and scissor fob. And it was all divided up for us. Of course, I am not the kind of person that takes a bite of the cake and the ice cream ever so gently and lets it sit on my tongue and savor it. No, I'm like, boom, face in the cake. And so I just stitched, it was my designated stitch. And for those of you that have been here a while, you know that whatever I choose is my designated stitch. That ends up being the one project I stitch in the evening when I'm watching TV with G. So once we go upstairs and we turn the TV on and put our Britcoms or Schitt's Creek or whatever we're watching, movies, I stitch on the same project until it is finished. And so the Sal became my designated stitch, and I finished it. So now I have the task when I come back from my sister visit to fully finish it. And I don't know why I'm nervous about that, because I am a quilter, I know how to run a sewing machine, but it is a sewing roll, a Biscornu, and scissor fobs. So the whole concept of having multitasks is a little bit, my bounce around brain is a little bit nervous about it. But anyway, here it is. So there is the needle roll. And I changed a little bit of it because one of the gals in the group decided to take, she actually took, I think, the heart section out and put the wording stitch across the pond, Sal. And I really liked that section, so I took the very bottom section out and put the words there. And then there's the two squares for the Biscornu and the two sides to the scissor fob. Yes, it was a fun stitch, and I am so proud. This is this makes my week, my month, my year. So yes, I'm going to have a fully finishing day coming up. So what is going to be my designated stitch now? I have a lot of whips, and I kind of thought, I don't know why. I think it is because in the back of my mind, my Ellen was screaming, to pick me, get me done. And so then I decided that my next designated stitch was going to be a maximum cross stitch project. And so I picked, it's this, I have in this bag, you see, Ellen, who is part of Crash Test Dummies, every time she came to Portland, we went to the concert. And so at the concert, they had merch for sale, and I bought this as a decor item for my bag. But this, I just loved this design of hers. There's always room. I love the sentiment of it and the sampler look to it. I loved everything about it. And I thought I would stitch it for my dining room, in my dining room. But my dining room is all of G's black and white photographs. It's they hang on the wall. The wall's kind of like an octagon in there, and so there's several photographs of his back when he was an art black and white photographer. And I just want to leave it that way. But then I thought, there's always room at the table. I actually, in here, in the beehive, have an old farm kitchen table with 6 chairs where when girlfriends come to stitch, we sit around. And so I thought, no, it should hang in here. There's always room here. So this is going to be my next designated stitch. Now, when I looked through my whips, I had no idea how far I was, whether I had, done anything, but I'm quite pleased because when I stopped, that's where I was at. So this is a perfect, absolutely perfect designated stitch. And I got real excited because I know now, once it becomes a designated stitch in my brain, it's going to get done. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited about that. What else has been going on? I have been stitching a little bit on Jessie Challenor. I'm going to the attic in Mesa in May with my friend Sarah and Jackie, the comfort stitcher, and so I thought I want to get going on this because I kitted it up there and it's so beautiful. I chose the bright and I have all my threads in this absolute fabulous bag that I got from Sue Stanley, and she has a floss tube. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And this is how far I have gotten on this. And this is on Cedar River Linen Spindrift 40 count. I love Cedar River Linen. I really love it. And I'm using 103 silks. The thing about, I'm not, it's kind of like wine connoisseurs. They only like certain wines. And I'm not that way. It's wine. And I'm the same way with my cross-stitch fabric. It doesn't matter the count. I don't have a favorite count. I don't even have a 1 thread, 2 thread, 3. I almost started to sing. No, 1 thread, 2 thread, or hoop, Q-snap. It really, I kind of like it all. I don't walk into an ice cream shop and say, oh, excuse me, I only want sherbet. No, I'm like, can I taste this? Can I taste that? Oh, I want to taste that one. Yeah, so that's why my whips are always an adventure when I decide to pick one up, because I'm never really sure what's in there. Is it 56 count? Is it an even weave? It's really fun to kind of just go for it, and it gives my my eyes, my mind, and my heart a break. Whatever comes up, I'm like, oh, okay, come on, let's play. Yeah. So I've been working on that. I also have been working on my smalls exchange. I almost lost the word small. Oh my gosh. My smalls exchange for the beach retreat. Now, I'm not going to show you how I plan to finish it, but I will show you what I've been stitching. And I don't have the pattern here, do I? Oh, yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Anyway. Anyway. It's a little octopus. I thought he was perfect for the beach. But you won't be able to see how I finish it because I want that to be a surprise. But he is just so adorable. So adorable. And so I've been having fun stitching on him. And this was a mystery linen. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. And the pattern, shouldn't it say, oh, here is the pattern. Oh, I'm so good. Puntini, Sea Animals Trios. I like those trio projects by her. And this particular one has a whale, a turtle, and a octopus. And I got this at Acorns and Threads. Yep. Oh, the fabric is a 32 count Haunted by Picture This Plus. It's a Lugana from Traditional Stitches. Okay. I think that's that part of the event. So how have you been? Has the weather been better where you are? I heard that when I fly down to my sister's, it's going to be 80. I'm like, yes, please. It is cold here. It is cold here. I know that some of you are also friends on Quilt Roadie channel, and that's my channel that predominantly has to do with everything that you find in a quilt store. So it's quilting, it's hand applique, it's embroidery, all the things that you find in a quilt store, I talk about on Quilt Roadies. And I know some of you are on both channels because you do all the things like I do all the things. And so this might be somewhat redundant. That's what I'm trying to say, is I work really hard to try to make the two channels be independent of each other and not overlap so as not to bore you. But there's just a couple of things that sometimes I just think I need to share this on the other channel. So if you've already heard it, please accept my apologies. But the book, one of a pile of books that I'm reading, is by Harper Lee, the author of To Kill a Mockingbird, and it is called The Land of Sweet Forever. And there was just something that struck me that I wanted to share with you. I read a lot of nonfiction and with a smattering of fiction, like I'm reading the 8 Perfect Murders right now. This particular book is more of an autobiographical type of book. And actually this book is just a compilation of short stories that they found that she had written, and so and published in this book form. But I wanted to just I saved this one quote that she said on the Oprah magazine, and because it just struck me. it just struck me. It's kind of like I went to a coffee shop with my cousin, and in the coffee shop on the tables, they had little placards that said no laptop use between 7 and 1. You're supposed to be there and enjoy the coffee and the company and not tie up a table working or just scrolling, the computer. So this quote really made me think about that. And she said, "Can you imagine curling up in bed to read a computer? Weeping for Anna Karenina and being terrified by Hannibal Lecter, entering the heart of darkness with Mista Kreutz, having Holden Caulfield ring you up. Some things should happen on soft pages, not cold metal." That totally spoke to me. And I love the fact that my joy of reading kind of passed down to my younger son and then to his sons. It's interesting because yesterday I had to stop by and drop some paperwork off to my son, and my daughter-in-law was doing a reading lesson with her younger son, and he looked up at me and he says, "Nana, I'm reading books." Oh, I'm telling you. Little joys, little joys. So this is that again. What is my morning coffee book? Yeah. Okay, I did get some haul. I got some haul. It's not, all of this is not going to, if you're new, it doesn't go chapter by chapter. I kind of jump around. Yeah, I just follow the pig pen in the Peanuts cartoon, the way he walks. In fact, today, my friend Audrey, who has Stitchy Witch 42 floss tube, texted me and said, she texted what I had said in another video, and I said, I need to start filtering my mouth and brain. And she was like, please don't. Now, G might think, yes, please. Yes, please. But, yeah, what can I say? What can I say? Just sit back, do your stitching, whatever you're doing, and just, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. So I got two things of haul this week. One was I had signed up on the Facebook group, Julie Kursavi's Facebook group, and I'll try to remember to put the links down. Homespun Needle Arts. And it is, it was put together. What she does is she has different exclusives that are done through different cross-stitch shops, so that the love of it all is spread out for all of us. And this particular exclusive, and you can go on the Facebook group, and you want to sign up for that homespun needlework, because there might be an exclusive that you are interested in. And the most important is that you're going to connect up with stitchers from all over the place. And we need to make the world more inviting and smaller and more connected. So this was the last exclusive, and it's a pin drum by Stacy Nash, Little Pink House. I'm reading it from Acorns and Threads. It's I chose 40 count Cocoa by Weeks Dye Works Linen because Janine told me to. I hope that she isn't leading me astray, but She seems to know what she's talking about. And then there was two or three little sweet pins that were a gift from Acorns and Threads and the fabric. But it is called the Little Pink House Pin Keep Drum. Isn't that just the sweetest? And I love, you can't quite see the border around. Can you see the edge of the drum? It's this beautiful flower border. So I got that. And then I ordered from my friend Michelle, Under the Woolen Willow. She has an Etsy shop, and you most likely know her because she is famous for her Word of the Year pillows. And I am blessed with a pillow every year, and I pick a Word of the Year to live by. It kind of grounds me and gives me focus because I tend to be like all over. And this year's word was intention. And so she embroiders it on a pillow, a little skinny pillow. And you can go on her site and see that. And when I see those, and I've had all my little pillows from previous years, I realize that I have a touchstone when I'm having an exceptionally challenging day or time, whether it be something personal going on or the world at large. I can look at my pillow like resilience was one of my words. Well, this year it was intention. And yes, that's been an important word for me. But she also has many other things. I have strawberries, fabric strawberries and little pillows and pumpkins. I mean, she is crafter extraordinaire. And it comes wrapped in this little sweet tissue paper. I mean, how cute is that? And she includes a needle and a bookmark that she makes out of wool and a paper clip. And yes, I always can use a bookmark. But the kit that I bought, I'm really excited about, is this embroidered needle book, because I thought this would make such lovely, lovely gifts. And you have the pattern so you can make more than one, but this kit included the linen for that embroidered flower, so it's already cut, and then the paint, because if you see the background of the flowers, it's ever so slightly watercolored. And this is all by Michelle of Under the Woolen Willow. Yeah. I'm going to be busy when I get back from my sister visit. I'm going to be busy. Now, I was asked to show the pieces. I had a giveaway last video. And at the end of this video, there'll be a flyer with the names of the winners. I had 3 giveaway charts, and I also, in the drop-down box, will have my email address. If you could please, when you see your name, email me your mailing address, and I will mail it to you. I hope that, many times I do a giveaway and the winner never responds, and it's like chasing my tail kind of thing. So I would really appreciate that if you decided to, in the comments, enter the giveaway, that you will in a timely fashion check to see if you're the winner and send me your mailing address, and I will get those off to you. But the three giveaways that I had were a Beth twist chart, and this was the finish that I did in this pie tin. Isn't that lovely? It's just so lovely. I mean, and I have it sitting on an easel here in the beehive. And then I had the crow, which was Nevermore. And I told you in the last video that I left the word Nevermore out. Although I am, a fan, the way I wanted to finish it, I couldn't have the words. It didn't look right to me. So I just did the moon and the crow and the greenery. And then I went and I bought a not cheapy, but it was a cheap decor kind of clock at a hobby store, a craft store, and I took the guts out. That's why it wasn't like an expensive clock, and it was on sale, and so I finished it in there. And so see, this is the clock, and there's my finish there, so it sits on the shelf like that. I just love this. I love this. And the last giveaway was a Stacy Nash Primitives, and it was a needle book. So that was the front of the needle book. And this is how it opened up to store your scissors. But I did not make it into a book. I love old wooden boxes. And so I had bought this antique box. Isn't that fabulous? It has a drawer. And I have some pictures in the drawer, special pictures of friends quilting or stitching. And then when I lift this up, see, I mounted it on the inside cover. So this sits on my shelf with this opened. And then it's filled with things. Now, what it has in here right now are these little cubes that you throw, and it tells you what you're going to do today. Quilt to binding, that kind of thing. But I just love how this turned out. Let's see, next here. Are we up? We're getting closer. We're getting closer to the end. On my book of days, I have the set squares that I need to get stars with. Stars. I'm all about the stars. So in my book of days, I have designated things that get stars because I'm quite needy for a self-gratification. And if you will notice, we are almost halfway through the month of March and my boxes are empty. So I have to get moving on the things that I have designated as star-worthy. And one of them is a Halloween. I need to stitch on one of my Halloween stitches. And that is my Halloween calendar by Tiny Modernist. And so I've been stitching on day 13. Right there. Yeah, day 13. So gotta get me a star. So then I have to look for my Christmas stitch, what I'm going to, and I'm thinking You know, Christmas in July, I have two Christmas stockings, shepherd's bush Christmas stockings that I want to do, and there's Christmas in July, but I don't know if I can get two of those done from July to December. So I have to really think that through. But this month, you have, and I don't know about you, but I get sparked by different events on the calendar. So we have St. Patrick's Day. Yes, please. I am kidding this up. I asked my friend Margaret if she could remember who this was by, or you know, and I'm talking on the phone with her. You know, we were talking St. Patrick's Day. I finally, when I hung up, I went into where my charts all were, and I went through all of them, and I found it. This was the one and only St. Patrick's Day-ish kind of stitch, and it's by Not Forgotten Farms. So I have all the floss. I haven't decided on the fabric yet, but I have a couple more days till I really need to buckle down and start this on St. Patrick's Day. Isn't he cute? He's very cute. Then I thought about, okay, the first day of spring, that's coming. That's, you know, we already had daylight savings time, but the first day of spring, and do I want to start another new start? Of course I do, but until I go to Nashville Days and at Acorns and Threads and really see what my opportunities are, I took a look at what was already in my whips. And sure enough, I found the perfect whip that had been forgotten that would be perfect for spring. So I won't have a spring start, I'll have a spring reacquaintance piece. Makes sense to me. And it is a Brenda Gervais pattern. Why I stopped stitching it, I have no idea. And it's called The Earth Laughs. The Earth Laughs in Flowers. And I'm kind of a little ticked off because I went out and bought two ranuncula plants. And they were already flowered. Oh, they were so beautiful. And I planted them on different sides of my backyard. My backyard doesn't have a fence. It has a big boulder rock wall covered in moss, and you know, you can't keep anything out or in. And G told me that I said, I think there were deer in the backyard because I see deer poop in the backyard. And I didn't notice that they had just chomped the blossoms right off of my ranunculus. They have no boundaries, absolutely zero boundaries. So the earth laughs in flowers until a deer comes in your yard. But I just love this. And I thought, I'm not going to start a new spring. I'm going to work on this whip. And this is what was stitched when I put it away. And this fabric is lovely. It is a Bestitch Me fabric. It's a Lugana 32 count. But amazingly, it's pretty tight weave. And I'm using 2 threads. I like the way it looks. I like the way it looks. So this is going to be my spring stitch. My spring reacquaintance stitch. So let's go over the comments, shall we? Yeah. Okay, so Sarah's Stitchy Spot, which we have talked about before, just so enjoyable floss tube. She is a fan of the 1 and 2 thread of day. I cannot say enough that when you have a big project to just commit to 1 thread a day, there's something zen about it. It's very, you start off the day with a win. And when you do that, it just seems like there's more positive than not. And I'm going to, when I finish this project, which will probably take a year to do because it's a big one, but 1 stitch a day, I'm going to keep doing a project that requires or screams 1 stitch a day. Yeah. So, Sew Me Sarah, across the pond stitchers, said that I take the pain out of making dinner. I laughed out loud when I read that comment because I said, I'm going to tell G that, because he does most of the cooking. He's just a really good cook, and yeah, we'll just leave it at that. But I'm going to tell him that there is a friend across the pond that says I take the pain out of dinner, and so I hope I do that for him too. Yeah. I was surprised how many of you actually have crows that visit you that you can interact with and will take treats from you and that kind of thing. I'm so jealous. I think I might have ruined that relationship from the get-go. There's a lot of crows and ravens in my area, and in fact the murder of crows, which is hundreds of crows, fly across this area and go to downtown Portland and then come back to the outskirts. And so there's a lot of them. But I think when we first moved here, I did a lot of screaming at them in the backyard. Because, yeah. And now I think they just think, oh, there's that you know what in her guys. So they're not giving me the time of day. Yeah. So Vicki asked how I use variegated thread. You know, do I separate it and try to use whatever thread color at the end, start with that thread color again? None of that. None of that. I am whatever happens, happens. Sometimes I do the loop method and I end up with a very interesting color variation. And sometimes I will use 2 threads without the loop, and then wherever the next color is, I start there. And I have never looked at a piece with variegated thread that I went, oh, that's disgusting. No, I'm A-okay, but that's not to say that there isn't somebody who is more fastidious about their variegated thread. That would not be me. I'm a cowabunga, let's get it done. Oh, aren't I great? Yeah, so. Okay. Paula wanted to know about the exploding polyfill. It is actually called silky polyfill. And I got it because Jolene, my instructor at Acorns and Threads, had ordered it off of Amazon, and it came in a 5-pound box. I'm just warning you, when you open the box, be careful, because it grows. Carmen asked, when I moved from Sisters to Portland, did I let go of a lot of stuff in my sewing room? No, I didn't let go of a thing. I hauled it all here. Now, the one thing I did let go of was I had a sit-down long arm type machine. I was no longer doing that. And so I did let go of that. But as far as my fabric and all the books and everything, all the stuff, I hauled it all here. Now, given that it has been going on 6 years now that we have been here, I am ready to let go of some things. But I did not do it in a move, because when you do it in a move, there might be regrets. You need to be calmer. And a move requires a lot of emotion. And when you make decisions in a move, not good. My mother was somewhat of a wise person. She had a genius IQ, but she used to say, when you lose a spouse, don't move for a year. Give yourself time. Think about it, because things are too reactionary. And you don't want to have any regrets. It's the same thing with the move. So after 6 years, I am ready to consider that there's some quilt books, quilt patterns, certain fabrics that I can let go. And my friend who does amazing amount of charity quilts is more than willing to help me with that. Yes. Jean asked, why so many charts? When I was asked how I stored my charts and I showed it, it looked like that's a lot of charts. And so Jean asked, why so many charts? They're my dreams. I loved every single one of them, and I will not be able to do every single one of them. But at that moment, I might. And so I guess at this point, I'm not willing to curtail my dreams too much. I am discretionary, more so than I was like 5 years ago. But the patterns are all potentials, and I kind of like that. Okay, I'm at the end. Thank you for hanging in there. I hope that your spring is sprung. I hope mine is going to be soon. Every time the sun comes out, G and I go out for a walk in the gardens, and it refreshes the soul. You all take care. I hope you enjoy your Nashville days and that you're stitching away. And remember, I love you guys.